Are you looking for a space where you will learn to improve your mental strength, emotional health, and heal your insecurities from the inside out? Take the first step to living a more meaningful life with the Better Me with Body by Bree podcast. I'm your host, Bree. I'm a certified personal trainer, entrepreneur, and mother of 3. I've helped empower thousands of women to take action through fitness, nutrition, meditation, personal development, and aligning thoughts with action. This podcast is for those who are ready to feel inspired and motivated to live a more purposeful life. Let's grow together. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Better Me podcast. I have my mom here today. I'm so excited. Mom, how excited are you to be on the podcast?
Oh, just so excited.
She is
I can hardly
thrilled.
contain it.
I know. Can you hear it in her voice? So I'm going to introduce my mom. I was so excited because she's visiting me for 10 days. I live in Utah. I live in California. She lives in Utah. So while she's here, I'm like, we're going to bust out as many podcasts as possible and just get as much knowledge as we can from you because she's incredible. Let me introduce who my mom is. She is a cranialsacral therapist, an LMT. She's certified in over 25 different modalities, a licensed massage therapist, and she's been doing energy work for 30 years. And she also has 6 kids and 17 grandchildren, and she's been married for 41 years. Mom, that's pretty impressive. Also, she's not going to toot her own horn, but I will for her. People fly in from all over the country just to work with my mom, and she has a waiting list of like months and months and months because everybody wants to get in with my mom because she is such an amazing healer. So she's here to share her number 1 tip with you. I actually asked her what a common theme was between all of her clients, and she knew exactly what it was right away. So do you want to talk about it a little bit, Mom?
Yeah, I feel like most people, all of us, our humanness has a tendency to want to blame someone else for the way we feel or the way we act and we responded or reacted to a certain situation because of someone else's behavior. And I feel like it's very common with everybody I see. I mean, it's not in a negative way. I'm not making a judgment call. It's just we all have a tendency to blame someone else for the way we feel.
And I kind of introduced this concept on my Instagram a while ago, and everyone was like, tell me more. But so what she's referring to is called mirroring. And usually when something bothers you about another person, they're mirroring something in yourself that you don't like about yourself. So, Mom, tell them more about the mirroring.
So, like, for example, when I went to a grocery store and I was with my husband, I was waiting in line in the grocery store line, and the clerk that was doing the ringing all the groceries up, she was really short, really impatient with the bagger, with the customers in line, and just kind of impatient. And when she turned her head to talk to someone else, I turned to my husband and I said, oh my gosh, she's so impatient with everyone. And my husband said, oh, I didn't notice. But he didn't notice because he's not impatient at all. He's very gentle. He's very patient. He just kind of goes with the flow on everything. And I have a tendency to be more impatient. And so I noticed that in her where he was sitting right there watching the whole thing. He never even saw it and never even picked up on it. And so I kind of have a little thing in my head. You spot it, you own it. You spot it, it's yours. You spot anything negative in another person, it's because it's really reflecting something in you, a behavior in you that you don't like, or you couldn't see it in someone else. And it also works the other way. When you compliment another person and you can feel secure about yourself and give other people compliments, it's because you can see that same quality in yourself. And so if you see it in someone else, you see it in yourself, good or bad. And sometimes that's really hard for people to see because when I point it out, when they tell me and they're talking about someone and their frustrations, then I'll say, do you feel like you have anything in common with that? And they're like, oh my gosh, I would never do that. I'm not like that at all. And it's really hard for them to see that they have that same characteristic flaw that someone else has. So and I'm going to use myself as an example. I was jogging with a friend of mine, and she kept interrupting me the whole time I was talking. And every time she would ask me a question and I would go to answer her, and when I started to answer her, she interrupted me and started talking about herself and talking about other things, and I never even got to finish my sentence. And then I noticed it was like this every time we went jogging. So I just kind of thought in my head, okay, I'm just not going to get myself set up for frustration or any unmet expectations. So I just knew that when I jogged with her, I just wouldn't have a voice really, and I was just there to listen to her, and then I could kind of eliminate frustration. But it still bugged me, and I thought, okay, I'm trying to be calm about this and just let her have a conversation, but I kept being irritated. So after several times, I thought, okay, this isn't going away, so it's probably she's mirroring something in me. Well, for a living, for 30 years, I've listened to other people tell me their problems or what's going on in their life, so I've always considered myself a good listener. So when this girl kept interrupting me and not listening, I thought, I'm not like that, and so sometimes I'll ask my higher self, or I'll ask God, show me how I'm like this, show me, because I can't see it. And really, I could not see it until I asked. And then I asked God, show me how I'm like this. Give me an example of how I'm like this, because I think I'm a good listener. Well, later on that day, when the kids all came home from school and they started telling me stuff, I'm like, oh, wait, don't put your book bag right there. Just hurry and go put it back up on the shelf before you just leave it on the floor. And then they start telling me something else about their day. And I go, oh, wait, did you get all your homework from Mrs. So-and-so? And then they'd start talking about something else. And then I was saying, okay, go ahead, finish your story. And then they started telling me, and I'm like, oh, did you remember you've got piano right after? And all of a sudden it hit me, and God showed me this. Look at, you're interrupting your kids. They can't even finish a sentence, and you're interrupting them, and you won't let them finish. And oh my gosh, it was like such a shock that I was like that, because I saw myself so differently. And so I think if you really want to be taught your real true colors is how you act to your spouse and your children or your significant other or your mother or your father or your siblings, because those are the people that we're the most comfortable around, and our really true colors come out with them.
Yeah, I love that. I do definitely notice that, because I noticed, like, when I was kind of insecure after I had Mila, I was really critical about myself. I was critical and unhappy with like every little thing on my body. And what I did was I noticed I started being critical of other people, which is not who I am. So it was just me mirroring how I actually felt myself to other people. So that was really eye-opening. And then the second that I had accepted and I was in a better place, it didn't bother me anymore. Like, I didn't notice anything about anybody else because I was just happy and confident with myself. So I totally get that. And it's funny because me and my mom are the exact same person. We joke about it because she's like, you're me, just, a few years after. But we will mirror each other all the time. We'll have to correct each other, or we call each other out because we're like, you're mirroring me. You're mirroring me. This is bothering you because that's what you do.
Yeah, we've had that our whole entire lives. But also, I feel like we mirror each other's good things too.
Yeah.
So, it's not all bad.
No.
But we both have a tendency to be late. So I can be really annoyed if Brianna's late and I'm waiting for her, or she can be annoyed at me waiting for me because I'm late. So it's a common trait we have that we're constantly working on.
Yes, we are. We're always working on it. But you just notice that. Like, take note next time somebody's bothering you. Take a mental note. Why is this bothering me? What could I possibly do that is mirroring this behavior? And just do like a self-reflection. That's why I love meditation so much, because it gives you a chance to like do that self-reflection and see maybe areas that you can improve on.
So I think there's everything. Every single person, event, or situation in life is a mirror. And so instead of getting frustrated about the situation, like, thank the person or situation for mirroring that in yourself so you can correct it in yourself and improve. And really what it does is it takes the blame of another person, and it puts the responsibility back on you. And I promise, when you change it in you, the other person improves, and they don't even know why. It's just because the energy isn't surrounding it, and so you resolved it. And so if you can just kind of see that this is an opportunity for me to really thank the situation or the person for showing up for me in this way, so that I can evaluate my own self and work on my own things. And it's really a way of claiming your power back, because when you get resentful and you blame people, you lower your vibration, and the frequency in your body is a lot lower, and you start getting more judgmental of yourself and everybody else. And resentment is a huge way to lower your frequency in your vibration. So when you stay in gratitude for a situation and find the silver lining in it, then you have the ability to change it in yourself. It's like reclaiming your power back. You get it back. You don't have to. Nobody's responsible for your happiness or your well-being, and nobody can make you in a bad mood, and nobody can. Is like not taking it personal, because it's just something, and a mirror is something that you can mirror and fix. And so usually we feel powerless and we can't fix it in another person, but when we can fix it in ourselves, there's a feeling of, it's a victory that you conquered that, and you're able to see it and thank it and not be bitter about it. It's really easy to let it go.
And I know you also always say that you'll keep attracting those experiences and those people in your life over and over until you've mastered the lesson that you need to learn from it.
Absolutely.
So notice if there's a pattern in your life. If like you have friends that don't stick around, or people are talking bad about you or whatever. If there's a pattern and it's happening over and over and over, there's something that you need to learn that you're not seeing.
Well, people will even... that I see is they come in and they get divorced, and then they remarry, but if they haven't healed those things in themselves and they're still angry at the divorced spouse, they tend to attract another man that has those same things that challenged them with their first husband. Or the same with a friend. I kept attracting the same type of a friend over and over and over again until I figured out what it was, and I was a pleaser, and I always tried to please these kind of red personality types. And so when I figured out how to have a voice and speak my truth, I quit attracting them. And so it's like the teacher will just keep showing up for you as an opportunity for you to master what it is that you keep repeating. So it's not anything negative. It's just looking at it as an opportunity to grow and constantly improve yourself without blame or judgment. It actually is really refreshing, because you can empower yourself by it, and you feel like you can always stay in a place of happiness, and you can stay in a place where, people bug you and people irritate you, but you can work through it really fast in your mind, so you don't keep rehashing that energy in your body over and over and over again.
Man, isn't she good, you guys? She is so freaking good. Mom, you're amazing. So I'm going to actually have her, we're going to do a couple podcasts together because I feel like this information is so valuable, and I'm really excited. She might not be as excited, but she was living in France. She was serving a mission in France, and she's not going back because of COVID, which I'm really thrilled about. How are you feeling about that?
We were kind of sad because we were there a year and we wanted to go back for another year, and we were all planning on it. But now I see that it's, probably meant to be, and we're staying with my parents, and they're 90 years old, and I feel like that gets to be a whole other new chapter, and I'm just enjoying the memories with my parents right now. And being with my kids and grandkids. It's been wonderful.
Well, and the fact that she's not going back means that we get to do retreats for you guys. We
have so many fun ideas. So many fun ideas.
We get to do new programs for you, including my mom and all of her amazing mental and holistic healing and energy work. And it's going to be a whole nother level. So I hope you guys are ready, because we're going to send some exciting things your way.
We're going to blast it out.
We are a force, so get ready. So thank you for listening, you guys. This is so fun to be with my mom, and I just want you to remember you are so much more than your body. You are capable, you are strong, and you are resilient, and we will see you back here next time.